I would also, in terms of recognition, I would also like to note for the record, although I think we've said it elsewhere, that Jennifer Olson, who is one of our veterans VO officers, has been chosen as a 2018 Dole Caregiver Fellow. So she's going to be able. This is the organization that looks after caregivers for military veterans, and Jennifer has been a real leader in the state of Oregon and been involved nationally with the Dole Foundation, and so we're delighted that she was chosen to be a fellow this year. So. With that, we have no minutes of previous meetings. Do we have additions to the agenda?
I think we added the one, didn't we? The pit and the review.
Yeah, it's in there. Item 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Public input from visitors. Maybe I should have called for that earlier. All right, we'll go into our business items. Wolf depredation grants. I will declare a conflict of interest.
With that, Mr. Chair, I would move approval.
Second.
In favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item number 2, Planning Commission appointments.
Okay, there are currently 2 vacancies on the Planning Commission due to one term limit, one no longer interested in serving. And so as advertised as an opening, we did receive some applications. Those were interviewed, and based on that, there were there were recommendations to appoint 2 people to the Planning Commission, Molly Tucker Hassenbank and Hoot Royer. And then also as part of this, we are requesting that Tammy Williams be reappointed for a 1-year term, and the other 2 will be appointed for 4-year terms. Okay. And they are replacing Don Marlette and Randy Randall on the Planning Commission.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of Order BCC 2018-015, appointing Molly Tucker and Hoot Royer to the Planning Commission and reappointing Tammy Williams.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Item number 3, drilling and blasting contract.
The county went out for requests for proposals for the drilling and blasting for the Casper pit. There were 3 proposals that were received, and those were from Aggregate Resources Industries, Hatley Construction, and Barnes, Inc. The department reviewed the proposals and recommended to go with the lowest proposal from Aggregate Resources Industry at $1.99 a yard.
This is our yearly, well, not yearly, but when
they
we have to
periodically
redo.
Yeah. For drilling different pits, and this one has just been recently needed, and so it was a request for proposal was issued on it.
Okay, I would move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Item number 4, emergency training contract.
Mr. Emergency Manager, we discussed this last evening, and yesterday afternoon rather, and I asked Tom to be here to cover it.
Yes, for the record, Thomas Roberts, Umatilla County Emergency Manager, and what we are requesting from the Commission is a continuance of the requirements outlined that you approved in the Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness Grant for this cycle. In that grant, we had submitted for funds with a 20% match to conduct exercises, and we have a local independent contract individual by the name of Dean Markham who is willing to perform these services for us at a cost not to exceed $11,000 as outlined by the contract. This will be for 2 tabletop exercises related to hazardous materials response and awareness. And I ask respectively that the board authorize this contract with Mr. Markham.
Is that going to be held in the media center?
Most likely for these, so We'll hold one in the Hermiston area and one in the Pendleton area. They were specific to different parts of the community. We could hold them in the media room if we needed to, though.
The $11,000 cost is an ordinary and usual.
It's actually for 2 exercises. That's almost half of what we would spend to bring in an outside contractor from, somewhere else who would also be charging us travel time and additional costs associated. So it's actually a very good deal considering. And he has performed this service in the past as a master exercise practitioner, and so he's very familiar with our community and our needs.
Mr. Chair, I move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Tom, this is a grant-funded, totally grant-funded too, isn't it?
20% soft match, but
Okay.
yes, otherwise it is grant funded.
Great.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Final item on our agenda, the charter
Got to
review.
be a record for short,
Yes, it is.
for items.
Let the record show that. The final item is the Charter Review Committee.
Okay, back in December, the board took formal action to initiate the process to have the Umatilla County Charter reviewed. This is a requirement of the charter for a periodic review by a citizen committee. Notice for the applications were published, placed on the county website. There were a number of applications were received. Originally intended to have a committee of at least 7, a committee of 5, at least 5 is required by the charter. Based on the number of applications, it was proposed to increase the committee to 9 members, and those would be representative of variety communities in the county as well as different areas in the county. And so it's recommended that the following people be appointed to the Charter Review Committee. This would be to serve until basically the function is ended. Your hope is to have it by July 1st of 2019. And that's Sally Anderson Hansel, Jerry Baker, Jenna Banica, Dan Dorn, Mark Golniski, Michelle Grable, Jennifer McClure Spurgeon, Don Miller, and Kim Pusey.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of Order BCC 2018-017.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Right. Anything else that you'd like to add? You do know that we have a monumental event happening immediately after the meeting.
Okay.
In fact, Phil wants to talk to me, but I said you have to wait a few minutes.
We have one guest with us today.
That'd be you, Gay.
I'm actually waiting till you get done so I can talk to Doug.
Oh, okay.
Doug will be preoccupied for 5 minutes. Anything to add, Don Ho?
You can come and enjoy the picture. You can come while you're waiting and enjoy the picture that's going to be
We're
taken.
taking our Christmas picture. All right. Anything?
There are,
Okay.
there's one table,
We're adjourned.
the rec.